Hello and welcome to this special segment of Indian Premier League where we bring you quick analysis of everyday match that is currently happening at the 18th edition of ongoing Indian Premier League's cricket season. Today is match day 25 and the match is between Chennai Super Kings and the Kolkata Knight Riders. The most important aspect about today's encounter is that MS Dhoni has come back to captaincy, and that too after a hiatus of almost a year, and especially in the captaincy role and at Chepauk Stadium, which is their home ground. It is going to be really interesting, but looking at the poor sides of both Chennai Super Kings and Kolkata Knight Riders and the fact that it has to be a team effort, we will analyze what can actually be done for today's match and to make it really super happening. For that, we have with us Narayan Singh. Very warm welcome to you, Narayan. When we talk about today's match between Chennai Super Kings and Kolkata Knight Riders, it is a fight of the table bottomers. When we talk about how do you look at today's match, especially with that significant aspect that MS Dhoni has returned with the captaincy role.
As you mentioned, Deepika, that both the teams are at the bottom half of the table. MS Dhoni's team right now, he is back as the captain, is in 9th spot, and Kolkata Knight Riders is at the 6th spot. And KKR has 2 wins, and MS Dhoni's CSK has only 1. So we can say that they are not in a good position right now, because current situation is that, as you mentioned, Ruturaj Gaikwad has been injured, and Dhoni again back as the captain of the franchisee, for which he won 5 IPL titles. But the thing is that how the Dhoni can arrest this slide the Chennai Super Kings are facing. And or talking about the Chepauk Stadium, they never lost 3 consecutive matches at this venue, and if today Kolkata Knight Riders takes them down, definitely that unwanted record will be created. So definitely, especially the Chennai fans and the Chennai team don't want this unwanted record, so they will have to play to their potential. And because as both the KKR and CSK both have mentioned that this year around they are not satisfied with the home pitches. KKR is also in the same territory if talking about the home pitches, and same with the CSK. They are not able to understand the mystery behind the pitches at the Chepauk, because we know that the pitch at the Chepauk is known for its slow track, and is
Sprint
also
friendly.
sprint friendly, and also we can say that favoring the bowlers, especially bowlers like Ashwin, bowlers like Jadeja. But this time around, both their frontline spinners, Jadeja and Ashwin, could not take out the best, take out the things they should have from the Chennai pitch, and this is the big problem for them, and because of that they are not able to win the matches. But here, apart from Noor Ahmed is the leading wicket taker of this tournament, 11 wickets, but they are at this 9th spot. So a big worry for the Chennai Super Kings in today's match.
And especially when we talk about MS Dhoni, because we all know that MS Dhoni has got a glorious encounter here at different editions of IPL, having won the most number of IPL matches, which is 133. For MS Dhoni, would it actually be right to depend heavily on MS Dhoni? Because IPL is always, any cricket match for that matter, is always a team game.
You can't heavily rely on a single person, single batter, single bowler, because it's team game. And talking of, few people are criticizing Dhoni for not scoring runs, not finishing the runs. But what about the top order? What about the middle order? Taking their top order is not working. If we take a look, the success of the Chennai Super Kings in the past, especially after 2021. In 2021, they won the title, but at that time, their top order was firing, especially Ruturaj Gaikwad. At that time, he was the orange cap winner, and along with Faf du Plessis at that time, the opening pair of Faf and Ruturaj Gaikwad, they were the top run scorer of that edition. Because of that, they won. And talking about the next in the 2023 too, they won the title again, and at that time also Ruturaj Gaikwad was a vital cog in their batting setup. He, along with Devon Conway, the pair of the both was the highest, they were the highest run getter of their that season. And talking about the average, in that season their average was the best, their strike rate was the best, but this time around that was not happening, that didn't happen. And talking about their middle order, especially the number 4, 5 and 6 and 7, if you take a look, their strike rate this season is 126. That is not up to the mark, is lowest among all the teams. So by such strike rate, you can't win the matches in the T20 setup. Talking about their opening setup, opening order, and in power play, Their strike rate is also is around 115. With a strike rate of 115, you can't win the matches in the IPL. So there is a problem in the upper order, in the top order, in the middle order, rather than the Dhoni. Dhoni, at this juncture of his career, at this age, you can't accept that Dhoni will come up the order and do the whole bulk of work with you. But hoping that still he managed, he is hitting the big sixes. So I think the Midas touch will come back again. We also can say that this is blessing in disguise, Dhoni coming as the captain. So hoping that he will recreate the magic for that he is known.
And now there's also many questions around who would replace Ruturaj Gaikwad. However, we know the fact that Ruturaj Gaikwad had played his previous matches in pain as well, and he was really unwell. And as you said, that this comes as a blessing in disguise that people were really looking forward to. And now it is seen as a deadly combination that Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the Mahi, has come back, and that too at Chepauk Stadium. But then who could be the possible replacement of Ruturaj Gaikwad? There are 2-3 options, but who do you see as the best fit for tonight's crucial encounter for both the teams?
Talking about the Chennai Super Kings, we know that they bought Rahul Tripathi there, but he too was not worked for me. They bought Deepak Hooda, but if you take a look, Deepak Hooda's record in the past 2 years, his figures, especially in the T20 game, were not up to the mark. So I think Rahul Tripathi will again come here, and we know that he's a good player and he can do. But this season there was some we can say critical issues with his playing style. If you take a look while batting, there was a lot of movement in his body, and I think if you are before playing a shot, you are moving his body, you are moving your shoulder. Definitely, I think it's not good for the focus of a particular batsman. That was visible in his batting style this time around. So, but he has a capability. I think they open with the New Zealanders, especially the way we saw in the previous matches. Especially Rachin Ravindra batted, and after that Devon Conway too, he was retired out in the previous match. So this is the perfect combination, opening combination for the Chennai Super Kings, the New Zealanders, and at the third place Rahul Tripathi could be there, and after that they have many power hitters, especially like Shivam Dubey is there, and Vijay Shankar too. But they need to accelerate the scoring rate. You can't keep the match for the last 2 or 3 overs. If you can't hit in the middle over, now definitely what is happening with Chennai na, they are doing well, they are going very close to the score, but towards the end they don't have too much balls. If initially in the middle overs only you score big runs, sixes, fours, definitely they can do the trick and they can win the match. And talking about KKR, their batting is, especially a few batters are doing well. Ajinkya Rahane, the way he leading from the front, played few good knocks, and Rinku Singh also, they lost the previous match, but he played, he showed his class that still Rinku can finish the game for the KKR. So they are a good batting setup, but only thing is that their bowlers, their pace bowler, I think is a big worry. In that case, they can today rest Johnson Spencer. If there is some movement, there is some spin in the wicket, they can bring Moeen Ali, because he can do a bit with his bat also.
When we talk about both the teams, because both are struggling and both need to play it correctly, play all their moves correctly, because we are already at the 25th match of the ongoing 18th edition. But having considered the Chepauk Stadium, consider the fact that it is a spin friendly pitch, and the scoring runs would be a factor here, would be a difficult task for both the teams, because if one is batting, the other one is also batting, but then what is the degree of the performance that they are delivering? That is a big question here. But also considering the fact of the pitch, what do you think, how important is the power play going to be tonight?
Power play is always important in T20 games, because how you perform in the 6 overs, it just tells how the game will go ahead. And we know that in the power play, Chennai Super Kings, if you take barring the last match, in the last match it was 50 runs from their opening partnership, and they played good first time in this tournament there. But in the power play, their strike rate is the lowest and their average too is the lowest. So here they can improve, and power play is the key to success of any T20 game. So here they have to do. But I think the most important thing for the Chennai Super Kings is that how they are going to handle the spin duo of Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narine here.
Right.
Because we know that Sunil Narine, and especially the way Varun Chakravarti have performed this season, still he is means we can say unhittable for the batters. And talking about the record of the spinners, especially Sunil Narine and Varun Chakravarti, it's a big headache for the MS Dhoni too. His record is not up to the mark against them, but how they can just stop both the spinners. I think rather than being defensive, they can go for the cleaners and giving no room to both the spinners. And we saw in the LSG match what happened there when Sunil Narine and the Varun Chakravarti especially was bowling against the Mitchell Marsh. What he did, he gave no room and just started attacking the bowler, and we know what he did, a fantastic inning, and they won the match. So this should be the key against both the spinners.
And when we talk about the key, I think the fans are also going to be the ultimate key, because Thala love, Yellow love, Mahi's love would be really roaring tonight with the loudest of cheers. How is it going to, just throttle the other team, Kolkata Knight Riders, because Mahi's love is just full of them.
We know that if it all goes Mahi's way, definitely it's going to be difficult for the KKR. But in the current situation, Kolkata Knight Riders is looking a better team because they have better resources. I think the spin department, because Chennai too have the good spinners. Noor Ahmed is there, Ashwin is there, Ravindra Jadeja is there, but they are not clicking. Especially R Ashwin, he is too expensive. And I think he is continuously not for the variety of bowling for he is known. He is not doing that. In the previous matches also we saw 90% balls he threw was the carom ball. So he has the quality, he has the variety, he can just experiment with that thing. But here a chance for the Chennai Super Kings to come back to the winning ways after 4 consecutive losses, because from here I think it will be difficult for them to make a comeback. Especially Chepauk is a ground where they have dominated the team, and because of that dominance at the Chepauk, they have won 5 titles, and today they will try to get that thing back.
Alright, so as you said, Narayan, Chennai Super Kings is going to be at a tough spot tonight. However, Kolkata Knight Riders also doesn't enjoy that much of advantage here. But having seen the roar that Mahi is going to enjoy tonight, it's going to be a different treat for all the fans celebrating Yellow love. And on the other hand, Kolkata Knight Riders would also like to upkeep the head-to-head that they've been maintaining so far in the matches that both of them have played tonight with each other. Chepauk Stadium is going to be a tricky pitch for both the sides. Let's see how it goes, but the roar should continue for Yellow love, and especially Mahi playing as the captain, and also your support for Kolkata Knight Riders. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Me and Narayan bidding you goodbye and wishing luck for both the teams that you are supporting for. Namaskar.
Namaskar.